மாலை வணக்கம். இன்றைய முழு நாட்களில் நிறைய நிகழ்ச்சிகள் கேட்டு மகிழ்ந்திருப்பீர்கள். இந்த நிகழ்ச்சி ரொம்ப நம்மளுடைய வாழ்க்கையில் ஒவ்வொரு வீட்லேயும் ஒரு மருந்து டப்பா இருக்கும். அந்த மருந்து டப்பா எங்கேருந்து ஆரம்பித்து நம்மளுடைய ஷெல்ஃபுக்கு வருது அப்படிங்கிறது நமக்கு யாருக்குமே தெரியாது. நமக்கு ஒரு மெடிக்கல் ஷாப்பில் இருக்கும், அது மட்டும்தான் தெரியும். ஆனால் அந்த டப்பாவில் உள்ள பொருட்கள் யார் டிசைன் பண்ணி எவ்வளவு ஹார்ட் ஒர்க் அதுக்கு பின்னாடி இருக்குது அப்படிங்கிறது யாருக்குன்னு தெரியாது. அந்த ஒரு துறையில் சிறந்து விளங்கி ஒரு ஒரு கம்பெனி ஆரம்பித்து, ஒரு நிறுவனம் ஆரம்பித்து, இன்னைக்கு நம்மளுடைய ஒரு தமிழ் சமுதாயத்தில் நமக்கெல்லாம் ஒரு முன்னோடியாக திகழ்ந்து கொண்டிருக்கும் திரு டாக்டர் வீரா சுப்பிரமணியன் அவர்கள் இங்கு நம்முடன் தன்னுடைய பயணத்தையும், ஒரு தொழில் என்றால் என்ன, அதனுடைய பயணம் எப்படி இருக்கும் என்பதை, அவங்களுடைய அனுபவத்தை பகிர்ந்து கொள்ள இருக்கிறார்கள். வணக்கம் திரு டாக்டர் வீரா சுவாமி.
வணக்கம்.
உங்களுடைய அந்த ரொம்ப ஒரு ஹம்பிள் பிகினிங்கிலிருந்து ஒரு ஷார்ட்டாக உங்களுடைய அந்த சொந்த பயணத்தை கொஞ்சம் பகிர்ந்துக்கிட்டீங்கன்னா ரொம்ப நல்லாயிருக்கும்.
எல்லோருக்கும் வணக்கம். பொறுத்தார் பூமி ஆழ்வார் என்று சொல்வார்கள். உங்கள் பொறுமையை நான் சாதிக்க போகிறதில்ல. அதனால் எவ்வளோ சுருக்கமாக சொல்ல முடியுமோ சுருக்கமாக சொல்லிடுவோம். We're not going to spend too much time with this last program. I'm really delighted to be here as part of this function. I ran a function myself in 1986 of Tamil Nadu Foundation in Rutgers. We had about 900 people. I knew it was a very involved job, very difficult thing. I know you all must have gone through nights and days of work, so I will not hold you back. That said, I'll tell you briefly, I believe in hard work. My parents believe in hard work. I come from a agriculture family. In agriculture, nothing is for free. Farming, nothing is for free. Farming, everything is tough. Everything is difficult. We work very hard. We make sure everything advances in a very quick way. So that has been my background. That is what I've chosen. I initially thought about that I will go to some kind of a biological, mathematical discipline, but it ended up being a biological discipline, which I chose. They told me, if you took biology, you can go to medical school. So I did not make it into medical school. Fortunately, I went into pharmacy school, which worked. Can you hear me now? Any better? Okay. So I did not make it into medical school. That's how I became a pharmacist. And I became a pharmacist. I kept my dream going. And one led to another. As soon as I got my degree from Pelani with a master's, I learned pharmacists are allowed to go to America. So I came to America quickly and got into pharmaceutical industry. Initially, I bummed around trying to get a pharmacy license for a couple of years. Then I got into pharmaceutical industry while I was doing my PhD at Rutgers. I was working for Johnson & Johnson for some years, 3-4 years, as a scientist. And then when I graduated from Johnson & Johnson, I got a job with Richards & Merrill, another major international Megillah. Worked for them for 3 years as a scientist, senior level scientist. And then I moved. I could not hold one job, so I kept on moving. Next move was I became a director of product development. I got a much higher level job with a bunch of people reporting into me. So I took that opportunity to move to Solvay. I worked for them for 6 years as a director of product development, built a formidable chest of products, generic copies of branded products. We did something like 70 products. We made generic copies of Valiums and Calants and all those things that you doctors may have prescribed. So those are products we genericized. First time the country launched a new law called the Patent Term Restoration Law, which allowed us to be able to genericize product at a very quick time frame. That after 6 years, I moved on as the vice president to another company called IVAX, You may have heard a company called IVAX, which is acquired by Teva, an Israeli company, sometime later. I became a vice president. There again, I excelled myself. I brought in like 60, 70 people, built the research, launched about 70 products, all major products of yesteryear, which is still all are effective and active. With that, I made about $7, $8 million in stock options and such, salary, stock options. I thought I'd time to retire. I sat home. In 1996, I was 46-year-old, sat home for about a few months. And my son got very worried. Yelanga was like 11-year-old. Yelanga asked me, Dad, you're not going to work anymore? I kind of felt bad as to why this child is asking me. And he said, Mom is working, we have money in the bank. He said, Mom, Dad, that's mortgage money. Are you working or not? So we both sat at home, and he will go to school. One day he came back and said, Dad, can you go get me some water? I said, what? Since when I'm getting water for you? You're supposed to get water for me. I said, you know, the matters are getting bad. So I said, I started consulting. I went on to consult somebody, a nearby company, that lasted for a short time. And they asked me, can you come and can you develop a bunch of products for us at my company? I said, no, I'll form my own company. That's how I founded a company called Kali Labs. I founded a company, we developed a bunch of products for them. Within 8 months, this poor company ran out of money. They could not pay my bills anymore. They said, get out. Not only did they didn't pay me, after $800,000, they just kicked me out. So here I am out on the street with 6 employees, and I bought a building. Fortunately, since I had some money, I bought a building in Piscataway. Those of you know this mid-Jersey, small town. Bought a 13,000 square foot and opened the business. I went on there, started developing products for a bunch of companies in the industry. And I was the darling of the generic industry. I was the first one to start contract developing product for generic pharma industry. Very quickly, I found myself, I was very successful, and everybody wanted me. They said, why not I do myself? So I started developing products myself, started submitting ANDAs, drug applications to the FDA. 2 years later, I bought a major facility. One of my customers had a facility on sale. They invested about $50 million. I said, listen, I'll let you off the contract if you give me the facility for $3 million. Guess what? I got my facility. And a nice facility, started developing products, and the rest, we went on to make history. After about 60 products we developed and launched, then someone, one day I woke up and said, time to sell the company. I don't know what came over my head. I was so stupid. I went to a show in Germany, and everybody from India was offering products in there. So everybody in India said, all the guys that I knew said, I'm developing 10 applications, I'm developing 20. I said, this is the time to quit, man. These guys are going to come and kill the industry. But I was so foolish. Somebody is talking about having a board of directors. I sleep with my board every day. That's the only board I have. So that did not so well for me. So what happened was, I decided to sell the company, and I went and told one of my customers, hey, give me $100 million, you can have the business. And he was very happy. But you know what? Somehow I found my way to negotiate it to 130. Then another guy came along and offered it. This guy had a first right of refusal. You never sign on your business first right of refusal for anything. I was so dumb, I signed the first right of refusal. And I said, listen, you can have the first right on my product and my company, but not on Veerapan. I'm not doing nothing for you. The day I sell it, I'm out. Guess what? I convinced him very quickly, no, this is not going to happen. So I was the key man. I had about 55 employees. So that convinced them it's not the way to go. So I went on to my other customer, other company, and sold the company at $150 million. Then I sat home, came home, sat home for a while, and transitioned the company for another year and a half, and sat home again. And we were starting to invest money into Wall Street and such, And finally, my secretary started leaving. I said, this is time to go back do something because people are leaving me. So I started the next company called Novel Lab in the same building that I had the original company. That they offered it back to me for $2 million at the whole facility. So I took it again from them and started my next company called Novel Lab. So I went on to develop Novel Labs for the next 9 years. And there was another health scare for me that really got me worried. You know what? I sold her at the top of the market. This time for $900 million, I got the best bogey. First time I messed up, had I stayed on with it, I would have done much better. The second time, luck would have it, I did a very good job. At that point, while I was doing this, I also got I got a little bit fascinated with doing straddle products. We were doing tablets and capsules, which makes up 90% of all pharmaceuticals today, are capsules and tablets and ointments and everything else. The injectables, which is straddle products, it's a smaller percentage of it. So while I was running Novel, I said, I have to get into straddle products. So I went to one of the major contract companies in the US. I said, can you make some batches? The guy said, it's going to cost you $600,000. That's back in 2006. I said, forget it, man. I'm not going to do this with you. So I was starting to look for a company, and in the US, you can't afford a company. So I started looking for a company, finally bought a company in India, in Bengaluru, which is the company we run today. And we built it very nicely. We have 1,000 employees, and we have 100 products in the market today. All products are manufactured here, but none marketed anywhere else except the US. And we have 100 more coming. Now, not only we have our plant, we went one step beyond. Now we are in-licensing products from throughout the world. But 30 companies are doing products for us. So when this venture, when I find a way to slow myself down within hopefully the next year or two, we will move on. That's where we are. Thank you for listening.
Thank you, Dr. Veera. That was very inspiring, and how much it takes to get that medicine on the bench. And I let Dr. Thai to ask some few questions on the.
Thank you. That was such a great story, the evolution of how you started your young career from big pharma, and then you started launching your own companies. So people normally, when they have a good job and they're going up the ladder in big pharma, they would be hesitant to move away from that and take that entrepreneurial risk. Yet here you are, extremely successful in doing so. So what would be really useful is to learn about your thought process in willing to take that risk.
Thank you for the question. A very good question. See, while I was working for Johnson & Johnson, this McGill company, and there we were doing a lot of research, and we were working on a drug called levamisole for arthritis. And this drug was very important for the company, and we had a research center, over 1,000 people, right on North Brunswick on the US Highway 1. And here I am. I was so dedicated. I'll go at night 2 o'clock, to collect rat feces and rat urine. That's the type of thing we used to do while I was doing my PhD. So it was always very hardworking, very dedicated, and we will doing that. So after a while, I got my name on a few papers and things. That's all you got in return for doing all that hard work. I said, man, this is not what I want to do. So by the time I was finished with Johnson & Johnson itself, I knew I'm going to have to transition, because it is a very slow process, and you are a spoke in the wheel. I know many friends that I have had over the years, they never could not go make anything. They all work for big companies. They all became something as much as a director, but they could not make it anything bigger than that. So I learned my lesson very quickly, and I knew, my mother used to say that if your eye can see it, your hand can reproduce it. So I was that good. Whatever I can see, I can reproduce it. So that's the reason why I went. I'm so thankful I did. I was a kid but I was okay.
Thank you. So I want to also tell the audience why we are getting close by when I ask this question. The audio is actually quite terrible to hear when you're on stage. You are hearing us much better than we hear each other. Just wanted to let you know. So the next question I wanted to ask you is, again, if you look at the difference between the big pharma and what you have done, the big pharma that you have worked for, the big pharma has always been put more money in the US on INDs, new drugs. And whereas you decided to move into generics, where the competition from outside the US could be quite heavy. And yet here you are, you got into it and you got quite successful. What went through that decision process?
Well, I think somebody said a little earlier, Americans are not doing basic research anymore. I'll tell you the secret behind this. Americans are entrepreneurs in a way. They know how to sell. They know how to commercialize. They became a bit lazy. How many of you are from New Jersey here? So how many of you were in New Jersey in the 80s and 90s? Or 70s? So things were very, very, very ugly at that time. Things were very ugly. If you drove through Linden on Turnpike, it was all smoke. But today, indeed I was driving through the other day, I was so happy to see you can't see any smoke anymore. So what happens here? The America, what it did was, it farmed out all the work, the hard work went out, then the soft work came to America. America knows how to commercialize. That's how they do. America does business. And I have chosen the winning side of the business rather than losing side of the business. I learned from America how to make your living.
Thank you. That was excellent. So the next question I wanted to ask you is, if you think about pharma biotech industry in general, compared to many of the IT tech colleagues that we saw today of Indian origin, the pharma biotech ecosystem is not exactly diverse, is not known for its diversity. Here you are, an Indian entrepreneur, Tamil entrepreneur, became extremely successful. Can you tell us about what challenges that you faced and how you overcame them?
Well, I never had a challenge as a foreigner with a colored skin to be surviving in the industry. I was always welcome. This country is the only country where you can criticize the country, yet you can make a living in the country. That's so great. That's only in the country in the world you can do that. Yeah, honestly, not just to make stories. That's the country where we are. I'm so proud of having become an American some 45 years ago, and I will not do anything differently.
Thank you. So another question coming back to the business world. You have made exits and re-entries and exits and re-entries within the general pharma world. But obviously each time you had a new idea, a new differentiation, and a new sort of entry and exit plan. How did that evolve? How did you come up with those each time?
I guess I was a little too quick. I thought I worked so hard. I retired 46. Then I thought I worked so hard. I retired 56. Now I'm 75. Still I'm working. Now I still have a lot of energy. I don't know when I will feel I'm out of energy. I'll be out of it. My children are involved, but they're not involved like me. They don't have the passion I have. The key is the passion. What is taking me today, where I'm going today, is because of my mind than anything else, not my body. I do work out every day. I walk, at least 5 miles a day, and I work out physically. I do physical exercise every day to keep my energy up.
Thank you. So you keep telling us about the age. First of all, I want to tell you, you don't look that old. You look extremely active. Second,
Thank you. You're making me feel good.
secondly, I want to tell you,
You should tell my wife that. Okay?
so secondly, you know, just by interacting on stage, this is the first time we are meeting, and just watching you respond to the questions so dynamically, I think you have at least 30 more years left in you.
You should tell the gentleman up on top. Maybe he'll listen to you.
So maybe 3 more companies, 4 more companies.
I don't know. My grandfather cleared 100. My father cleared 95. I don't know where I will land.
So I want to ask you a bit of a more personal question for myself. I'm an academic who is an aspiring entrepreneur. Not, you know, I'm still like to advise my students, but still like to have the entrepreneurial spirit. And also heard young people going through their journey of wanting to be an entrepreneur. What would be your advice to them to be a successful entrepreneur?
Endurance, endurance, endurance. Hard work, endurance. Never get discouraged by anybody. Never get discouraged by anything. Just keep on going. You'll find your spot. You'll find your niche. You'll find what you want to get. You just keep going. Okay, the ever-ready battery, that's what you should remember. Keep on going until you succeed. You will succeed. You will figure it out. We're all smart. Nobody who's dumb. Everybody, it'll click one day. Why don't you turn it this way? Yes, you will win. I have a confidence that 99% of this room, except me, who's a dumb guy, will succeed. You're a dumb guy can succeed, so you guys can succeed.
So, you know, I want to say entrepreneurship requires courage, extreme courage, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. Courage, endurance, and follow through all the time. Continue to work through continue to push forward, and never step back. Keep going.
So, when I learned about your story and recognizing that entrepreneurship requires courage, and then I found out, and then when I look at your name, Veerapan, it's amazing.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
So extreme courage in entrepreneurship. Truly an inspiring story. Thank you so much.
My pleasure. My pleasure.
Oh, thank
Wish you
you.
well.
Thank you, தாய். இந்த ஸ்டோரியில் வந்து ரொம்ப இன்ஸ்பைரிங் என்னென்னா 1970-75 வந்து ஐடி துறை வந்து கொடி கட்டி பறக்கலை. நம்ம வந்து அந்த காலத்தில் ஒரு சயின்டிஸ்டாக இந்தியாவில் படிச்சுட்டு ஐடி இல்லாத ஒரு தொழிலில் அவங்க டாக்டர் ப்ரொஃபஸர் தாய்மனவன் சொன்னது மாதிரி வீரமான சுப்பிரமணியனா ஒரு தொழில் ஆரம்பித்து 46 வயசில் வந்து தன்னுடைய ரிட்டையர்மெண்ட் அவங்களே நினச்சிட்டு உட்காந்துட்டாங்க. திரும்ப ஓகே இது வந்து ரிட்டையர்மெண்ட் லைஃப் கிடையாதுன்னு எல்லோரும் வந்து செய்யும் தொழிலே தெய்வம்னு சொல்லுவாங்க. ஆனால் டாக்டர் சுப்பிரமணியனுக்கு செய்யும் தொழிலே பொழுதுபோக்கு. அந்த மாதிரி ஒரு எண்ணம் இல்லைன்னா நம்ம வந்து இந்த அளவுக்கு வந்து ஒரு தொடர்ந்து செய்யக்கூடிய தொழில் வந்து எப்போ பொழுதுபோக்காக மாறுதோ அது வந்து ஒரு வெற்றிக்கு படிக்கட்ட அமையுங்கிற ஒரு எண்ணத்தில் வந்து ஒரு கருத்தில் வந்து உங்களுடைய வாழ்க்கை வந்து எங்களுக்கெல்லாம் வந்து ஒரு எடுத்துக்காட்டாக இருக்குது. வரக்கூடிய இளைய தலைமுறையினருக்கு நீங்கள் பார்த்தீங்கன்னா அவங்க டாக்டர் ப்ரொஃபஸர் தாய்மனவன் சொன்னது மாதிரி ஐடி இல்லாத ஒரு தொழிலிருந்து வேற ஒரு தொழிலில் போகிறதுக்கு வந்து என்ன மாதிரி வாய்ப்புகள் இருக்குது அப்படிங்கிற ஒரு சின்ன இது சொல்லிட்டிங்கன்னா ரொம்ப வசதியாக இருக்கும்.
ஐடிங்கிறது புதுசு. எல்லாரும் ஐடின்னு போகிறாங்க. ஐடிங்கிறது இட் ப்ரொவைட்ஸ் எ மீன்ஸ் டு கெட் சம்வேர். பட் ஐ திங்க் த பேசிக் professions are there. Many basic professions. The doctors, the nurses, the farming, and all those professions still exist. Somehow we seem to forget that everything has to do with IT. It's not the case. So things all will continue to flow, continue to flourish, continue to remain in this world. This world is big enough. It'll be here for a long time. All professions will come back. IT looks like a fantastic thing, but IT will may not be the top thing. But of course, IT is a tool. It's a very important tool. It expedites everything. Especially I heard about the, robotics. We heard about the artificial intelligence. This is going to be the way the life is going to be, but it's a tool. Remember when people said back in the 70s that don't introduce computers, people will lose a job. Nobody lost a job. Indeed, we created more jobs. Okay? No tool takes away job. Tool only assists. Our needs become more necessary, more current. Therefore, it only creates more jobs. So we'll get beyond IT also. IT will remain part of our lives. It's never going to go away from us.
Thank you, Dr. Subramanian. Kandipa so there is a opportunity, a hybrid opportunity. Pharmaceutical biotech can work in IT, take the pharma to the next level. For example, genome sequencing, bioinformatics, clinical trials, they all now require a hardcore next generation Gen AI and everything like now they are working together to create more job, definitely. So we see there is a surge in job opportunity in IT because of the pharma biotech. And I'm sure that you agree with that. Is there anything that you comment on that?
Absolutely. Once I met the chairman of GlaxoSmithKline, and he's running 5 million simulations a day. That's what they're doing in terms of drug discovery. It is enormous. I mean, they think about, must be ginormous, the computer that's running that type of simulations. So that's what they're going on, drug discovery itself, due to the application of high tech.
Yeah, I'm sure that is going to happen very soon. And thank you very much. Would anyone like to ask any question from the audience? We have like a couple of questions. Yeah, there's somebody wants to ask. Ram Nagapan from New Jersey. Yeah. What do you want to do past your free time, like a hobby?
What do you do for a pastime?
Time pass. What do you do to pass your time?
No. We do travel. We started traveling last few years. We traveled Europe. We're going to go travel Scandinavia very shortly. We want to go to Iceland this summer as well. So we've been to Egypt. We have been to the places. We are not resting. Indeed, Turkey is a fantastic place to go visit. And we are going to go to Australia and New Zealand soon. We are looking to do some good things, have some fun.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Again, Dr. Veerapan Subramanian is an iconic example for all of us, coming from a humble background, study science, and has come all the way. And one of the greatest thing when Dr. Veerapan Subramanian was approached by Dr. Tanicheran for supporting this event. And I'm sure he did not have a second thought to give us $100,000 as a title sponsor. And we want to thank and we want to give a standing ovation, please.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I tell you, when I see Dr. Devu, Dr. Charan, when I see all these great people, good people, when I see the past presidents of FeTNA and current presidents of FeTNA and all those things, that you people dedicate a lot more time compared to the money we spent. I know it takes a lot to assemble a crowd like this. Today is the first day. Your crowd will be much larger, I would imagine, tomorrow. I understood registration is completely done, pretty much full. Sure. I'm very proud of you guys. This took a long effort. I congratulate you for the phenomenal job you guys have done.
Yeah, definitely. நமது பேரவை 35 ஆண்டு காலமாக தமிழர்களை இணைப்பதிலும் தமிழர்களை வளர்ப்பதிலும் பெரும் பங்கு ஆற்றி வருகிறது. டாக்டர் சுப்பிரமணியன் போன்றவருடைய பங்கு இதை அடுத்த நிலைக்கு எடுத்து செல்லுவதில் வெறும் ஐயமில்லை. இதுபோன்று அனைவரும் நமக்கு துணை புரிந்தால் மீண்டும் மீண்டும் சிறந்த காரியங்களை செய்யணும்னே. Thank you very much. I call upon all the board members on stage to give a moment of, please come on.
Shaping standards in pharmaceutical care. A pioneer in generic drug development, Dr. Veerapan Subramanian continues to lead with
We're going to ask FeTNA Secretary
impact.
Dr. Kapilan Velaya to present the award to Dr. Veerapan Subramanian.
invite my lady here? Govi,
Please come on stage. Mrs. Veerapan Subramanian. ஒவ்வொரு ஆணின் வெற்றிக்கு பின்னாலும் ஒரு பெண் என்பதை டாக்டர் வீரா சுப்பிரமணியன் இங்கே அறிமுகப்படுத்தினார்.